Yes, people, welcome back to Arsenal with Ash, here to review our 1-1 draw away at Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the semi-final of the Champions League. Not a bad result. Not a bad result to take home. And yeah, it's all to play for at the Emirates, man. It's basically going to be 0-0 when we start that game. I think our performance in the game was good. The plan was good. We nullified them, especially in that first half. The second half, not so much. But in the first half, we had complete control of the game. The atmosphere was electric at the start of the game, but we managed to quieten that down with sensible, measured, controlled football, and also a good retention of the ball as well. And actually being a bit of a threat. I thought we was decent, especially from Noni's side. And Gyökeres had a couple of opportunities as well to cause problems. And yeah, I think, that first half, obviously we get the penalty just before, clear penalty, and absolutely dispatched with pure venom from Gyökeres, as you would expect. When we get a penalty now, it's like almost a guaranteed goal. But yeah, it was brilliant pen from him, and we go into the half 1-0 up, and you're looking at it, at the face of it, and saying, we've had a brilliant half, we're in complete control, Atleti aren't really causing us problems, they don't seem at it. Can we get a second and a third in the second half and actually finish the tie here? But yeah, we expected a reaction, of course, from Atleti, and they did come out the blocks a bit more on it. But the penalty helps them. It helps them. A goal changes a game, and it's just, you know, it's always going to be given in the Champions League, but it's just rubbish, man. It's just such a rubbish decision. Like, his hand is yes, it's a little bit outstretched, but it's also clipped his leg and hit his hand. It's like, come on. But we know that in the Champions League, that's given. So as soon as it happened, I said to myself, yeah, that's a pen. And yeah, Alvarez puts it away, 1-1. And obviously, goals change game. The place is electric again. We have to survive the next 10, 15 minutes, and they have a couple of chances. Griezmann hits the bar. Lookman has a couple of chances. And yeah, they were on us. So we had to survive that moment. And David Raya was there when he was needed to be. Gabriel was there when needed as well. And yeah, we managed to get through that. And then towards the end of the game, you could see that they were comfortable with the 1-1. And then comes the third penalty incident. And from the referee gives it, I'm stunned that he went to the screen. He's absolutely bottled it. He's bottled it because the pressure of the crowd, Simeone, oh my God, he runs around that pitch just telling them what to do. Whatever he wants, he gets pretty much. And it's just so poor from the referee. Like, it's clearly not a clear and obvious mistake. The contact might be minimal, but this is the Champions League. You get penalties for anything in this competition. So how that's not stayed as a penalty is mental. And we could now be looking at that and going back to our place with a win, with a lead. So poor from the referee. But yeah, after that, we didn't really create too many opportunities. We had a lot of the ball towards the end of the game, and we looked comfortable. Alvarez went off, and that nullified their threat completely. And yeah, all in all, 1-1. Like I said, we go back to the Emirates, and I'm confident that we'll get through to the final. The Emirates is going to be buzzing. I'm already looking forward to that game. I can't wait to get down to the Emirates for that one. And we just have to make sure we're a lot more intense and have a lot more intent in terms of how we want to attack, because it's going to be a case of them just sitting man behind the ball, which they've done for a lot of tonight as well. They're going to do that. They're going to come to the Emirates and try and quieten us down like we did to them, but they'll do it in their way of just camping in our box pretty much. I can see it already. So we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be controlled. We're going to have to be ruthless, efficient as well, and move that ball fast, because if we get into our flow of just being slow and laboured, that's just going to play into their hands, and then before you know it, we're going to end up in a penalty shootout, and that's the last thing we want. So yeah, but anyway, that's next week. We move on to Fulham at the weekend. But yeah, not a bad result. You take that, and it was a good performance as well, which is what I'm happy with as well. So yeah, let's get on to the player ratings. David Raya in goal was called upon a couple of times, and he done his job. Thought he was good in that regard. His decision making with his kicking as well. I was a bit worried because of the pitch. I was thinking, oh, please don't slip every time he got that ball. But yeah, he done well, and yeah, he tried to stay in his position for the Alvarez penalty, hoping he goes down the middle. It's a gamble, but that's penalty life. So yeah, I'm gonna give David Raya 8 out of 10. Ben White, I think he done okay defensively up against Lookman. Obviously he gave away the pen. His arm is a little bit outstretched, but I still think it's so soft, and the way it comes off his leg. So I'm not even going to criticise him too much. I think he could have used the ball better at times, but yeah, I don't really have much to say on Ben White's performance. I'm just going to give him a standard 6 out of 10. Saliba I thought was good. I think at times his decision making in terms of passing could have been better. But I think defensively he was very good. He wasn't troubled at all, and yeah, he had a good game. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 as well as Raya. Gabriel I thought was slightly worse, although I thought he defended well and came up with some vital blocks at times. But the penalty comes from his I think he missed the header in an area he should be dominant in, especially when it's just Griezmann and Alvarez, two little small men around you. You should be dominant in all those situations. But yeah, he apart from that, I thought he had a decent game. I think defensively we were really good. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Hincapié defensively again, just not troubled at all. He's a proper warrior, proper defender. But going forward, my God, the technical level is too low, man. It's too low. I get it in arenas like this, a way tough game in the Champions League, fine. I'm not too mad at it. But next week, I need to see Calafiori, man. I need to, because we need more, and we're going to need to break down a sturdy defence. So, yeah, I'm going to give Hincapié a 7.5 out of 10. We saw Dek move into the 6, which was interesting, and a good tactical change, I thought, from Arteta. And I thought Dek was fantastic on the night. I thought he was so good at putting out any fires that were there. That we had that triangle back of Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, and the way he dropped in and split the centre-backs, picked up the ball, and his composure on the ball, ability to drive into open spaces and pick passes forward. I thought he was really good, and it made me remember that season 23-24 when he was in that 6 and you had the triangle of him, Saliba and Gabriel, and they were brilliant, and I want to see it again. Yeah, so going forward, that actually makes me more confident that we can see a Rice, Odegaard, Eze midfield in the games we've got coming up, because Rice can just sit there and put out fires, man. He's so good at that. So yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I'll probably say he was our best player on the night. I'm going to give him a 8.5 out of 10. Zubamendi I thought was decent as well. In a more of an 8 role, he was kind of not box to box, but he was definitely more ahead of the play than Dek was. I think at times he could have been a bit more intentional with his passing. Sometimes it's just a little bit like feather foot in it with him. But yeah, I thought he actually looked a lot fresher than he has done recently, and he done well in his duels as normal. And yeah, I thought he had a decent game. I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Odegaard was okay as well. I thought similar to Zubamendi, really. At times he could have been more intentional, but we know that with Odegaard. But I thought he pressed really well. Hopefully there's no injury there, because that substitution was a bit abrupt. But yeah, I thought he had a decent 50, 55 minutes. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. And Martinelli on the left, see the front three. As soon as I saw that front three, I said, "Oh my God, I can't stand this front three." It's just runners. There's no balance in that front three. And yeah, to be fair to them, they done okay in this game. Martinelli was not a threat going forward at all. That left-hand side, the technical quality was so bad, him and Hincapié over there. But he worked hard, helped out Hincapié when need be, and yeah, that's all I can really say for Martinelli's performance. I'll probably give him a 6.5 out of 10. Gyökeres was a threat and created a really good opportunity for Odegaard at one point, showed some really good pace, obviously won the penalty, put it away as well. I thought it was a decent game from him, and that's his third goal against Atletico Madrid this season already, so in 2 games. So yeah, decent from Gyökeres. Pleasantly surprised, I'll say. So I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. And then Noni, I thought was good as well. I thought Noni was good at times. His technical security was actually quite good. He was keeping the ball, especially in high pressure situations, probably better than Saka when Saka came on. He also was taking them on. He had a really good effort in the first half as well, which was narrowly wide. So fair play to him. He looked really frustrated to come off, and I hear it, because he was having a decent game. But yeah, I'll give Noni I'll probably give him an 8 actually. I thought he was better than Martinelli and Gyökeres. And then substitutions off the bench. We saw Eze come on for Odegaard. Eze just oozed class out there, and you just know that he is the one. If something was going to come from him, and obviously the penalty situation was from him. There was one moment when he was gliding through the middle, got fouled. It was just beautiful to watch. He is the key to our season. I'm telling you now, he is the key to our season. So hopefully he can stay fit, and then for the rest of these games, I expect him to be starting. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Good cameo off the bench. Saka was poor. He just couldn't get up to the speed of the game. And I think if we were going to play him, it would have to be from the start, because he would need to come into that frantic environment and catch the speed of the game when you've been out for so long. It was a lot to ask, so I'm not going to be too critical of him, but he went at it. So yeah, I'll give him probably a 5 out of 10. The same for Trossard. His first few touches, oh my god, I was infuriated. Just taking too long on the ball. It's not that environment. You've just come on. Keep it simple. Just get your first passes off. Just silliness. I mean, that Trossard does that sometimes, and I just don't get it. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a 4 actually. I thought he was poor. And then Mosquera coming on for Ben White had a chance as soon as he came on. It just fell to the wrong guy on the edge of the box. If that was Eze, that's a goal, I'm telling you. But yeah, I thought he weren't really troubled much, didn't have to do much defensive work, so just gonna give him a standard 5. But yeah, all in all, good performance from the boys, man. They should feel good and feel confident going into the second leg. So yeah, just one more job. Go out there and do that, and we're in the Champions League final, boys. So yeah, I'm confident we can do the job, but now we focus on Fulham, another massive game, Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. Emirates is going to be buzzing. We need to go out there and play with confidence, free flowing, go out there and really push Fulham to the limits. So yeah, let me get your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the performance, about the game, if you agree or disagree with any of my player ratings. But yeah, not bad. Let's see what happens in the second leg. Take care.